Thank you. I almost thought they were talking about someone else. And I was telling my chair NDP, over where did he get those from? But thank you, ED of NGO Forum, all representative of various organizations, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. I am profoundly honored to address you at this very important symposium at a time when we are all grappling with the impact of international philanthropists pulling out of not only financing civil society organizations, but also government and other partners. As you are aware now, I get almost every day on my table letters from either US or other agency, European Union, saying this project we are now unable to continue. So that's the state where we are. It's not only civil society. So with this situation, the philanthropic landscape is undergoing a significant transformation characterized by a growing recognition of the local community initiatives and also international donors which had always supported us, leading to us depending more on them, and external sources have now dwindled. At a government level, over the last 5 or so years, we have also been seeing a trend where even international lending companies or organizations like World Bank, IMF, and so on, ADI, most of them, especially in areas of social sector, do not give all the loans. They want to partner with international global philanthropists to de-risk them from governments. So you will find maybe Melinda Gates will come in with the World Bank to finance vulnerable groups like the women, like persons with disability, because World Bank will not want to do certain activities that will risk the loan. So de-risking the loans have also been much more with the global philanthropists. So you find that over the last 5 years, about 5% of our financial transaction has been through this de-risking transaction to underfunded priorities like health, education, vulnerable communities, climate change. Now a lot of people are de-risking or even providing risk-free loans. This change, fueled by a lot of global crises like the Ukraine-Russia war, the Middle East, and so on, people have refocused themselves on some of those global issues. But I'm glad that today you are looking at how do we locally look at internal giving, the local way, and I'm certain that a lot of people are now supporting locally. We have now a lot of middle class. We have many politicians who are starting foundations. I'm seeing so many foundations. If you go to URSB, I swear you will get almost all politicians having foundations. If you are looking at the primaries now and those who are contesting for SEC, you find someone going and giving a circle 1.8 billion, 1 billion for circles. So I don't know whether that is contextualized when the previous speaker was talking about people who have so much. But there's so much, if given to the local causes, we appreciate. There are also digital revolution that has played a pivotal role in reshaping philanthropies. If you now sit, I think almost every hour you will find WhatsApp group created to raise fund, Instagram, TikTok, and all those mobile technology. So donors are now able to connect. Even somebody with a very small contribution can now connect and donate through mobile money and others. And for me, where I sit in the Ministry of Gender, I see a lot of activities around asking permission for fundraising around social issues locally. So when we sit here, we are not only sitting to talk about what is not there. We are talking about what is going on. So it's important that there's collaboration between the local philanthropists and NGOs to build synergies and amplify our efforts. Pulling resources together, expertise, partnership will help local philanthropists to guide the causes that mostly press the local communities. And Africa and Uganda is not, we are not short of example of local avenues through which people have always fundraised for social cause. Actually, when I sit, usually I say, if all the money we have used and fundraised for building churches were driven towards social development, how far would we have been? The other day, the president opened a church of how many billions, which has a hotel, what? Was that not contribution where even some of you are now looking at their watch, 1 o'clock, what time is it? To run to the church for 1 o'clock prayers. And there you will give. Even somebody who has no money can sell their local chicken to go and give the church. So for me here, I'm saying, can we also do mindset change? That we have so much that we can generate locally, but is it directed to the right cause? When you call for fundraising for a wedding, somebody who does not even have money will look for money so that they are seen to have contributed more than the other to make the wedding glamorous. But you call them and say, we have a local school, we need money for a local school to build a dormitory for a community school. How many of you are going there? So we must now contextualize as civil society, because some of us politicians will fear to talk about those areas. Can you start the mindset change movement that we have so much? Funeral, people go and these days, people even, locally people used to be the ones to gather local people to dig the graves. But these days, even the local people will say, people should fundraise for digging the grave. And the grave must have tiles. If you are to look at a month expenditure of burial, of marriage, of church donations and so on, if you accumulate that money in 1 year, it will be able to finance all the health sector needs. So let us look at this as a campaign also for mindset change. Because as a minister in charge of gender, labor, and social development, mindset change starts with us. We head the mindset change. We have been trying to educate the community that we have so much initiative. When you go to villages, you will find somehow that women have this voluntary saving association, saving and lending. They will save every Sunday or every Saturday or every Friday, whatever day that they have chosen. And they have their small box, they put their little money there. And that money is their capital. The members will come to borrow and start small businesses. So those are the local initiatives we are talking about. They are the ones that are holding society together. If we do not have those local initiatives of fundraising, of coming together, it will be very difficult for our society to. So we need a lot of research. I call upon the NGO forum, please do a lot of research to inform us as government on what we need to do to redirect the local philanthropies towards the causes that matters to people. Do advocacy. Have networks that enable us as government to know where we can support and redirect these people. Under my ministry, we have so many NGOs that have causes. People have centers for orphans, for children. Street kids are being looked after by many of you. People are paying school fees for children. We license them. So we are, and some of these we see are also locally, people who are locally endeavoring to raise money to support these causes, which is very important. So given the shifting landscape of development finance, with official development assistance declining and public resources being reallocated to other priorities such as defense, electricity, roads, and so on, there is need for local philanthropies to strengthen its role to target the social sector so that the local communities are able to be provided with support and drive local-driven capital for small businesses and supporting innovation and inclusive development initiative. It is important to note that locally based domestic philanthropies are offering deep contextual knowledge, trusted relationship with communities. Local context needs assessment. And most times when these development partners come, European Union, you said, and so on, you examine their proposal, and sometimes you find even 60% are going back to their side. You end up with 40% in your country. And then they even want to bring their own development experts to be the one to go to the villages, and the project fails. So we are now saying with the local philanthropists, you know the local context, you know the local needs, you know the implementation strategy that can support local gains. So it is important that with this, we also have a policy, and in the Ministry of Gender, we have been engaging donors to say, when you come, please do not come with your strategy. Even if you're coming to work with a local partner, please hear the strategy from the local partners. Contextual, cultural issues might make you fail a project, but when you partner with the local people, you are able, an organization, you will be able to understand the local needs and leverage the comparative analysis to ensure that you equally make sure our development assistance do not go to the wrong strategy. So you are very important to us. I'm glad that today you are discussing this topic, because philanthropists locally play an important role in sustainable development by leveraging community resources and knowledge to address local needs. They support government in what we do, and by engaging, so I'm glad I came and found the MTN, you called him non-executive chairman, talking about initiatives that are local. I know there are MTN banks that are always coming to us and showing us what they are doing under corporate social responsibility. And they do this together with the local people. So it is important that when we secure financing, we foster ownership, we promote impact and long-term change. Efforts, I request you that your efforts should be redirected towards mobilizing local philanthropies for development, because now development assistance might not be forthcoming in the near future because of the global trend of what people are redirecting their policy to. There is need that when you undertake this, you understand community ownership, sustainability, the needs of the community. So when you go like MTN or banks and you want to support, please ensure that the local needs, the local people give you and factor their needs and their views into how you ensure that you implement your program. So in conclusion, I can only say that times have changed. International donors are pulling out, and the law of nature demands that as times change, so we must also change. In philanthropy, that means embracing flexibility, efficiency, and a commitment to diversity and inclusion, even when doing so demands more of us seated here. And I hope that during this symposium, you will set your targets, design strategy to track progress, work hand in hand with us as a ministry, and derive mechanism for holding yourselves and each other accountable, and also ensuring that we change the mindset of the community that donations should not only be done for prestige, but equally for development. I thank you and officially declare your workshop open.